Hello, welcome back to One's the Force, the Star Wars podcast. My name is Phil. Of course, I'm joined as usual by Dave and Absent. Good evening, Dave.
Good evening, my friend who's been waiting for me to sort myself out to get on here. And apologies for missing last week as well. I have pretty much had a heavy bout of flu, so I'm not quite there yet. So yeah, I do apologise if you get any coughs running through this. It will be awful. But yeah, we'll get through it. It's fine. I'm doing okay. Better than I was.
Indeed, and for those of you who are watching along live with us, welcome to the show. But also for those of you who are on audio, you don't care about this part. But Dave, unfortunately, is so ill and grotesque, he's had to hide himself away. So for those of you, you are able to stare at my mug this evening, not Dave's as well. And George is somewhere in the mist. Although in the next couple of months, he will be coming back and join us for the live shows as he's sorting out his internet connection and where he's living. So his situation will improve, and we'll be back to our trio. And then, of course, we'll have him shipped off to America for Celebration, where he will be our reporter on the ground. So we look forward to that one. But for now, It's the two of us. And I'm happy as, of course, last time I had to do it all by myself. First show back from Christmas and so much news.
You did an outstanding job, my friend. It was excellently done. As I say, I wish I could have joined, but there was just no way.
Well, your comments in the chat did help very much. It was appreciated. It was hard having that one way, but we're all good. We're all here now. So as I said, we might as well crack on with the news. Of course, the first bit of news tonight, to do with our title, of course, is Auntie Daniels has finished shooting on episode 9. So, of course, principal photography is expected to wrap later this month, if not next month, so next couple of weeks. But yeah, he put out a tweet today saying, today was C-3PO's last on episode 9. He's sad, so am I, but we're so proud to work with such a lovely, talented cast and crew led by JJ and Kathy. I'll miss everyone, but I'm glad to know that we've been making something exceptional together to share with Waiting the World. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean, 3PO and Auntie Daniels go hand in hand with Star Wars. They've been around since 77. They've been there the entire time. He's the only actor to reprise his role voice-wise, especially with animation, games, a lot. If 3PO's in it, he's done it.
I mean, there was a lot of speculation because he obviously came out and people were like, oh, that's it, he's done. Tony Daniels is done with Star Wars. And certainly it would seem his character probably won't travel now to other sort of spin-offs of the movies, because why would 3PO be there? It would kind of be forced in. But he's been such a part of this saga, a part of Star Wars fandom, really, from the get-go. He's always been one to not to shy away from the fandom, not to shy away from the character he's playing. I'm sure he had bones about it when he was, early days, but he's really embraced the certainly celebration and a lot of the fan culture. So yeah, for him to be finished now with 9, it sounds like they've had a great time, is the good side of it. Like really, really good time with what they're doing. And yeah, he's had this history of being this character to now think, well, that's definitely that character probably wrapped up for now.
Indeed, I mean, we don't know where he'll probably appear in Resistance at some time or another. The character's not going to be gone forever, but he is gone for now. But of course, we thank him for his work, and of course, with Celebration comes good memories, of course, of the Anthony Daniels panel where you and I were, and I made him and Warwick Davis absolutely wet themselves laughing.
It was a good moment.
It was a very good time. I will never forget that. That was a cracking moment, and so he's finally finished on 9. So 9's coming to an end. So the principal photography side of it's coming to an end anyway. In the next few weeks / next month, we can expect reshoots to begin probably in April, maybe May, if they need to do anything. If they do, it won't be much, or it could be a lot. We don't know yet, of course. But as always, there will be reshoots. People will go, "Oh no, reshoots!" Well, the reshoots are built into every single film, so it's fine. Don't panic. We know it will come at some point. Next bit of news, sticking with the droid theme. It's a very nice theme we've got going here at the start of the episode. Sticking with the droids, our number one source of news for The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau, has started out by tweeting out another OG droid appearing in The Mandalorian. After the tease of the IG unit we had at Christmas, he's now released an image of the iconic R5 unit, and hopefully the motivator's a little better in this one than in R5D4.
It was an amazing thing. I missed it by a couple of days. And again, I only apologise. Our social media has been probably lacking over the past couple of weeks because I just haven't. Even my fingers hurt with the cold and flu I had, so I just couldn't even face it. So yeah, it dropped off. So I've kind of caught up on a few stories over the last few days, and when that droid popped up, oh my word, it made my little heart sing. Honestly, It's so beautiful. It's so it couldn't be any other droid, but obviously it's not. He blew up in A New Hope. This is after Endor, so it's a different droid, but it's exactly. There's no difference in that droid to R5D4 at all. It'll go by a slightly different name, maybe, or it might be even just in the background, and we'll never hear its name. But the fact you get to see it, love that.
Again, it's just proof that Favreau is one of us. He keeps teasing these OG things. Like, so the Mandalorian himself, the weapon is from Boba Fett's little cartoon introduction from the holiday special that no one speaks of. The ice cream maker makes a return. The IG unit, so IG-88 from Empire, may not be the same IG unit, may be a different IG unit, but IG makes a return. Yes, this R5 is appearing as well. There's so much. Yeah, he's paying a lot of respect to the past, whilst of course creating his new universe. However, I'm very excited to see what it brings. But yes, again, my little heart just jumped as well. When you see it, it's just a lovely little nod back to episode 4, and a lovely little nod to the past, and that it's good to see the old school mix with the new, because of course by this point you'll have a couple of BB units in it, I'm sure. Not only is it because of where the stories in the time, but also our own technology at the time as well. We can do it. We want to do it. We pushed it with episode 7, of course, introducing BB-8, and of course in episode 8 you had BB-9E, and you had the Resistance BB unit. So I'm sure you'll see a BB unit or two. But it's good that Favreau's keep it old school. Maybe it's a sign of being in the Outer Rim that you don't have that latest and greatest technology, that you are sticking with the old school. But wherever he goes, whatever route he goes, you can certainly tell the feel of it is going to be old school and proper Star Wars. And I am very excited for that.
It's the one, the droid, and then the new movies. I mean, yes, we're in different places, but I do miss a lot of the classic sort of looks that we get. So I missed the R2 units that we didn't get so many of, and I missed things like creatures that we do, like Jawas. I missed seeing a Jawa, which is weird, but it's just one of those things that's so iconic to what you've seen previously.
Agreed. It's a delicate balance though between. So it's a delicate balance between the old school, the new school. They don't want to be a cliche, but they don't want to not include the old school as well. So it's just that balance. And yeah, it does feel like they are lacking some bits. Like Jawas, I love. Who doesn't love a Jawa? Who doesn't love a Jawa? They are incredible, inquisitive little creatures that just steal droids. That's just, how can you not like them? They're like the little market sellers. That's what they are. They're just these little tiny little market sellers. Run around and steal things, and just they're great. They're perfect little creatures, and I love them to bits. And of course, whenever you see a Jawa at con, they always try and mess up your cosplay and try and mess around with you. It's always fun. I love it to bits. So yes, I also miss Jawas, but it is that I know why they're going in the new direction, but at the same time, it's good that Favreau is now keeping it old school and kind of bringing it back to that. And again, keeping with that. Disney Plus Disney made a small announcement that Disney Plus is going to debut in April. Now, it doesn't mean it's debuting to the world. What it is Disney is having its Investors Day on the 11th of April, the same day that Star Wars Celebration in Chicago starts. And we'll be previewing its Disney Plus service to those in attendance, including some of its original content, which could possibly hint at a Mandalorian preview at Celebration. I've put possibly in our little schedule here, but I'm almost certain that with that being in place, with them having that debut of the Disney Plus, we will have the first episode, or at least a trailer for the general public, and a larger clip shown to those at Celebration.
It's absolutely got to. The fact they're going to be showing this, and we know by that time the Cassian Andor series has not started production. It's not expected till October. So the only thing that they've got really for this is either the Mandalorian, or maybe some Clone Wars is the only other thing they've really got that they could probably already have definitely an episode of. If they haven't got more recorded, they'd be way ahead of them by now, I would have thought. Whether that is it, there's going to be something on show. I'm very, very eager to see what. Yeah, I mean,
the investors is. The investors will see more, because it's more geared towards bringing the money in. Or not that Disney need any money, but bringing the money in, bringing everything in. In fact, they could give money. That's not the point. It's more about, for the investors, it's a different scenario than it is for the fans. With the investors, they're trying to show why it's worth investing in the company, why it's worth them switching to Disney Plus exclusively. It's that kind of, it's a more of a business mentality. Whereas for the fans, it's a little different, because you want to entice them in, saying this is what we've got coming. This is why you want to be with us. This is why you want to purchased a service, this is why you want to watch, The Mandalorian and Clone Wars. I can quite easily see there being a trailer for The Mandalorian and the trailer in the first episode shown for the Clone Wars. Now, the first episode for Clone Wars will stay at Celebration. Maybe if they're doing for Mandalorian again, that'll stay at Celebration. Like we had the first 2 episodes for Series 3 of Rebels when we were there. But there will be a trailer for the public for both, I think.
I definitely think they're holding back so much. It's been, I don't know if it's in the news about this, the trailer not being shown. Is that in the news later? Is it about the
no, I hadn't seen that.
Oh, cool. Just talking out. Yeah, it was announced that they are not going to be putting a trailer in the Super Bowl. It's been just categorically not one coming. So that, I think everything is being saved for Celebration. I really do. I don't think we're going to see hide in the hair until that. We might get a title beforehand, but could do maybe or maybe not. But I think they really are holding back as much as they can for this Celebration because it's going to be so big. The first one in a couple of years, I think they want to go in with stacked with as much news as they can possibly give out to the people who are in attendance to that, and then obviously us watching on the stream and crying and being jealous of George. But yeah, it'd be fine.
Indeed. Well, the thing is that we may be jealous, but we can have him bring us stuff back. So
he won't do it for us. He'll just say he's too much. He's got too much stuff. He'll just lie.
He'll lie. We'll pay for an extra suitcase. We'll make sure he brings stuff back. There's no ifs, no buts, no calculations. He's bringing us back stuff. He will be our little Jawa, and he will get stuff. He'll get the exclusives for us. It's like I managed to twist your arm into buying that R2 those many years ago now.
No idea what R2 you're talking about.
The R2 that has still to this day not made an appearance purely because I keep bugging him and he go, no, I'll do it when he stops bugging me, maybe. But the point is, people want to see it. I mean, I've actually spoken to fans of the show who, again, want to see it because I brought up so much. They're curious as to what you have. So one day you will do it. In fact, don't forget, this is episode 50. Let's just stop for a second and go, this is episode 50 of our show. We had technically our 2-year anniversary last week or the week before on January 18th. That was the official day of episode 1. We've missed a couple. 52 episodes marks 2 years for us, and it is incredible.
It's unbelievable to think that we've done that. I mean, this is 50 of our regular show as well. We doesn't include any specials we've done, doesn't include all the stuff we've done, all the celebrations where we've done 6-7 videos over a weekend. So it's crazy that we've got this far. I love it. I absolutely adore that we're still doing it, and it hasn't just gone, well, you know what, we'll leave it now. It's been fun.
Indeed. I mean, I don't know how many episodes it's been in total. I know it's in the 80s, that's for sure. Which is the crazy part.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
So again, thank you, of course, to everyone who is watching, who has joined us over the past 2 years. But yes, going back to Celebration, of course, Celebration for us holds a dear place in our hearts because that is where we all met. So we would like to do one again as a trio in the future. This one was just a little bit too far out of reach for Dave and I financially this time round. Chicago, as nice as it is, being in the States from the UK does, even though it's on the East Coast, it does make travel a little easier. When I went to Boston last year, it was certainly cheaper than when I went out to Florida a few years before that. But next time we'll look at it. If it's in Europe, we're there. Pretty simple. If it's in the States, again, depending on where our financial situations are, we may go. But for now, we do have our little go for our little Ewok, little Jawa, little creature going over there, and he'll bring us stuff back. But of course, he'll be reporting on the ground. We can't guarantee you that he'll stream anything from the event, especially those episodes if there are any. But he'll be able to give us that first bit of news before anyone else. Again, continue on the Celebration theme. There's been a lot of Celebration news dropped, actually. They are gearing up for it. They really are. And they have to because it's in April. It's only in 3 months' time. It's in like 80 days.
73 days, I think, today.
Exactly, yeah.
That number.
Yeah. So Star Celebration will be here in a couple of months, and they're all starting to gear up for it properly. The announcements coming thick and fast. First of all, we've had the key art revealed and the banner art revealed, both of which are on our Instagram as well as on our Facebook and Twitter, and they are just stunning. I love them to bit. I prefer the banner art over the
key art.
The key art, I must admit.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I think it's a nice piece. It's just it's a hard. It must be a hard job because you've got so much of eras to cover, and obviously given probably idea by Disney of what they want on there as well.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of characters that are missed out, which then people don't like that. Because
Well, there's one key character missing that's not in
Anakin.
any of the artwork, and that's Anakin.
Yeah, bizarre.
And he is kind of like the linchpin of the whole deal.
It's a weird thing. Yeah, I don't get why he's been left out. I really don't. Yet Phasma made it.
Ugh, don't get me started on that. Do not get me started on the fact. In fact, they put her next to Fett as well. It's like, prove it, like, try to shove it down our throats. We want her to be the next Fett. It's like, she won't be because she sucks. She just sucks. I mean, Dave is there, as you can hear, is allergic to Phasma. That's how bad she is. He's genuinely allergic to Phasma. Yeah, Lando made it on. That's good. You have Chewie, Han, Leia, Rey. You have Luke. You have R2, Grievous, Maul, Vader, Palpatine, Ren, Phasma, Stormtrooper, Fett. But so no Anakin, and no clones either. No clankers.
Yeah, it seems like an odd mix of characters, but they've got the main.
I like the key art. The only thing I don't like is Vader's eyes. It's that reflection's too much. It's too much red in the eye, and too much red in the face. It's just it kind of blurs it out too much. It kind of like it's just oversaturated with red, and I just don't like it.
It's certainly. I don't think it's as good as previous key art we've had, but as far as it goes, it still looks cool still. And they say the banner art that we've been getting is some of it's exceptional.
I think we lost Dave there. No, is he still here?
I'm still here. I just blanked out for a second there, so that might be my connection. I do apologise if I've gone missing. So, Phil,
Dave, are you still here? If
yes,
not,
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. You're back. This is good. There's the only problem with doing shows live. You can't edit them. So even when we go back to the audio, someone will go, wait, what is happening here? This is the only thing we do it live because we love doing it, not because we get paid to do it. So stuff like this happens all the time. But anyway, again, that's the key art. And again, we have a slew of guests announced. I mean, an absolute lot of events. Guests announced. So we've got Eunice Suotamo, so Chewie. You got Sam Witwer, of course, does the voice of Maul. Greg Grunberg, so that's Snap Wexley. Dave Chapman, the puppeteer who helped bring BB-8, Rhea Durant, and Lady Proxima to life. Greg Proops, who has most recently done the voice of Jax Sivarik and Garma in Resistance, but is also, of course, Fode in The Phantom Menace, so the announcer. For the pod race, you have Paul Casley, who played Admiral Raddus in Rogue One, and Elo Asty in The Force Awakens. You have Ian McKinley, who played General Dodonna in Rogue One, and Oral Shoshan Shakti who played Shakti in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. So quite a lot of guests being announced.
It's great. It's obviously something we're going to get. Obviously, we're not going to get the big names until just before.
Well, Eunice Suotamo and Sam Witwer are still pretty big names.
Oh, Sam Witwer was massive. He'd be one of who'd be on my list to definitely get a meeting with.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that's the one that I'm very tempted to give George the money and go, please just get me Sam Witwer's autograph. Just please, I need Maul in my life.
It would be awesome to, he's definitely high up my list of people who I'd want to just go up and say how much the way he's played the roles have meant.
Well, yeah, there's 5 I want to meet from the Clone Wars. So you've got Ashley Eckstein, Sam Witwer, Matt Lanter, D. Bradley Baker, and James Arnold Taylor.
Yeah, you've got to go with that main family of characters, and who would want to meet Matt Lanter? He's just dreamy.
I mean, I also want to meet. This is very true. Although Oscar Isaac is also dreamy in real life as well, I can tell you that for damn sure. Also want to meet Nika Futterman, who did the voice of Sarge Ventress, because I love Ventress. She is my favorite character from the Clone Wars by far. If any of you out there didn't know or couldn't tell, especially when we'll get onto the comics and bits later on, when they just released the Age of Republic special, and the variant edition was a Sarge Ventress, and I just sent it to the guys going, I have never wanted the cover art more in my life. So yes, there are plenty of guests that I would like to meet, but those, so Sam Witwer, Eunice Suotamo, Greg Grunberg as well. Again, not exactly small guests. I mean, Greg Grunberg's been in quite a lot of TV and films throughout the US, of course. And then, of course, you do have. I want to meet Elo Asty as well, just to say you got a license to ill, just because you can. You walk up to and go, "Hello, Asty, you got a license to ill."
And then they removed Phil from Celebration.
Yep, and Phil was never heard from again. It's fine. Oh, well. So, yes, you have plenty of guests coming thick and fast to Celebration, plenty of announcements, and we can expect more over the coming weeks. In fact, it got even more Celebration news. So, as per usual, Celebration brings together a variety of replica sets and props, and this year is no exception, with the announcement of several replica sets and props being the Death Star sliding doors, the Emperor's throne room, Endor bunker and bike, a Falcon lounge from both A New Hope and from Solo, a giant TIE fighter, an X-Wing, the Tantive 4 corridor, and the tank from Rogue One. I don't like the X-Wing. I've seen the pictures. The X-Wing looks a bit too boxy for my liking. The rear, I don't know how they've done it. Just made it a little too boxy. Everything else, pretty damn wicked. I mean, I remember when we were at Celebration, they had the half-scale AT-AT and the First Order TIE Fighter. And those were just incredible.
They are. And the best thing about this, I mean, they've got some great sets. That the Falcon interior, the lounge from A New Hope, is the one they used for the Star Wars show while we were at Celebration. It's that set, but you get to now go on it.
Yeah.
And who would want to walk in the Tantive corridor? They would be the two things I would race to be on there. That's awesome.
Well, this is true. So that I'd probably go for the Solo version of the Falcon, so I can wear a cape and just sit there and be cool. Because if you're in Lando's Falcon, and if you wear a cape, you're instantly cool. No matter who you are, what you look like, you are instantly cool. That's just the way it works.
I believe that's actual law. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's written into the Star Wars law. You know, it is one of those things of even in the film they reference it by the fact that Kira had to try the capes. Like, I just had to. What does one man use so many capes for? It's in the. That's how much is ingrained in Star Wars lore. It's the fact that I was having this discussion with Robin, so one of our guests we've had on before and who will probably be on in the future as well. We were chatting about that infamous scene in Empire at the end where Lando is suddenly wearing Han's clothes. And you go, well, you have to remember the fact that he left everything on Cloud City. He has nothing. All he has is what's in the Falcon at that point, which happens to be Han's clothes. So he goes and nicks them to have a fresh pair of clothes and a good shower. By the time he gets to episode 6, naturally he has a cape again. It's just it is. Even in his skiff outfit, he still has a bit of a cape on it because he can.
And why would, if you can have a cape in life, you know what? Have a cape in life.
Exactly. It's what I can't remember the name. Edna, I think it is, from Despicable Me, not Despicable Me, from Incredibles, where it's like no capes. Lando be the one exception. Like, hey, gotta have a cape. It is that way. You can imagine Maz Kanata just go like, no capes, and people like, hey, it's fine, it's me. I gotta have a cape. It's that smooth talking smuggler with a cape. It's just the way it is. Thank you. But it's that way of doing it. Things though. It's that smooth talking smuggler with a cape. I mean, I want to go to LFCC this year just to meet Billy D. Williams. That's the only reason I want to go, is to meet Billy D. Williams.
And you're well within your right to do so. So it'll be a coup to see him. He's getting to an age, he's 82, 83 now. So yeah, now's the time to do it.
Exactly. That was my thought behind that. Was if I'm going to have an opportunity, this will probably be the only opportunity I get. So I really want to do it. Again, Celebration continued. Lots of Celebration news tonight, and that's fine. So Rancho Obi-Wan has confirmed its attendance. It's home of the Guinness World Records, the largest Star Wars collection of memorabilia in the world, and it will have its biggest booth yet during this year's event. Didn't have one when we were there, sadly. It's got a showcase which acts as a historical time capsule for Celebration throughout the years. In a message, Steve Sansweet put out saying, we're marking 20 years of Celebration itself, with a look at the past 12 events to show how the motto, by the fans, for the fans, has stood the test of time. From humble beginnings in Denver, Colorado in 1999 to today, each celebration has included unique badge art and other offerings, says Sansweet. So I love the badges because they're different artists and different styles he adds. Badge sets become very collectible, but they also tell something about the style of the art at the time. The display will also include a selection dedicated to fan-made pins, patches, and other swag that's been traded and gifted over the years. An essential part of the camaraderie at each celebration. Again, so saying it's always been a highlight for me, Sansweet says. Another part of the Rancho exhibit will look at the fandom from a female perspective, while a third section pays homage to the saga's many iconic characters who exist behind a mask or helmet. The helmets of the saga display include some that look like just came from battle, artist interpretation of Vader's unmistakable helmet, artistic recreations of Stormtrooper buckets, and even a screen-used prop being Darth Vader's mask and helmet from Return of the Jedi. So an awful lot there to see. And sadly, he wasn't there when we were there in 2016, but he will be there. I mean, you can quite easily imagine why they're shipping everything from the States to over here.
Oh, yeah.
isn't exactly easy, especially when it's that kind of value you're talking about, and especially considering what happened last year with thefts and everything else. It's brave of him to even be putting it out there. So all power to him from my perspective.
Oh yeah, it's great that he'll be coming along. Yeah, you absolutely get that. Just the shipping containers alone to get some of that stuff over to the UK would have been insane. So I'm really glad that he's bringing Rancho Obi-Wan. It's somewhere eventually I'd love to visit and see myself. The collectibles that are coming. The fact that Vader's screen use helmet's there as well. That's awesome to go and see.
Indeed. So considering the thefts they had and considering the legal debacle they've had recently, all power to him for going. I think it's fantastic for him to actually be showing up and doing it. I think it's great. It's good service to the fans. And yes, so there's been 12 celebrations over 20 years. We were there in 2016. And it is one of those things when you're there, you do find like-minded people. It really is a family without you knowing about it. I mean, this is living proof. This podcast right here is living proof of that. 3 dudes in a queue ended up creating a podcast that lasted 2 years as it stands. We talk daily. We're always discussing new stuff, always watching stuff. We do this because we love it. And we realized after 3 days that somehow we didn't get bored of each other. We found people that we could talk to Star Wars as much as we could, and they would still want more for some insane reason. This is the thing. You go on the internet, you put it out there, like-minded people will find it. But when you are actually in a room with all these people, you go, my God, we are sad. But we love it.
I don't know if sad's the right word, but it's not far away. I'm geek for life. I don't care. We do this because, as Phil said, we love doing this. We'd love to sit and talk about Star Wars and talk Messenger about Star Wars and what's coming out and toys and, oh, did you see this clip of this one thing that's coming out, and get really excited about these things still. And you know what? I'm 40 in like 3 weeks, and I still, nothing diminishes from this love of this saga.
Well, that's the thing. What you guys don't see behind the scenes is the fact that we do talk daily. We do. George, I said, sadly can't be on the show. Doesn't mean he doesn't contribute. He does. He's always there. Any advice we need for the show, any point for the schedule, any clips he finds, anything he finds, any news he's got, he puts it in. We all contribute as much as we can. I mean, the schedule itself takes a good 2-3 hours to put together. Takes longer to put the schedule together than it does to do the show, just because we need to go and research everything and source everything and make sure it is in one place. And we do fact check as well to make sure that we are reporting the right stuff when we can. So we do put a lot behind the scenes into the show. Again, we don't get paid for it. We don't make any money off this. YouTube, we don't get any ad revenue from it. But again, do we care? No. I mean, money is great, but Star Wars is life. It's fine. This is what we do. I mean, there's a reason why I have a Star Wars tattoo, because it's ingrained into me now, physically forever, and that's fine because I love it and we love this show. And Celebration was that key for us. So to bring it back to what we were talking about with Steve Sansweet, he is the ultimate collector. He was also head of fan relations at Lucasfilm for a while. In fact, if any of you've ever seen the documentary on the 501st on the Star Wars Special Edition Blu-rays, if you haven't, I urge you to watch that. And the 501st do great things. They always say they're not always bad guys doing good, but again, you get to see the behind-the-scenes part of that, what he's done for the fans, and the fact that he is bringing his props and his collectibles after the thefts that happened. We were reported on this last year. He had, about $250,000 worth of merchandise stolen, something like that. It was an insane amount. And yet, he's still there.
Like someone goes and steals your jetpack Boba Fett, and you still come back to Celebration. Well played, that man.
Yeah. It is honestly, it's all respect and all power to him. And that is actually the end of Star Wars Celebration news. We actually had quite a lot this evening. It was more than I was anticipating, but again, considering the build-up, considering that Celebration is just around the corner, it is to be expected the next few of our shows will be dominated by Celebration news. And again, we have our little Jawa who will send him off. We'll get him to report back. Next for news, Todd Fisher spoken out about Carrie's appearance in episode 9. This was put out on December 28th. We've only just dug it up, so which is why I'm reporting it now. So sorry if you've read it before. Just trying to find it here now. So Carrie Fisher will make one final appearance as Sorry, excuse me there. We'll make one final appearance as Leia Organa in the ninth episode of Star Wars Skywalker Saga, opening December 19. Todd Fisher says director J.J. Abrams has shared plans to incorporate several minutes of unused footage of his sister original shot for the Jedi into the still untitled film. And from what he's put out, he's saying there's a lot of minutes of footage. I don't mean outtakes, Todd Fisher says. This is new, unused, new content that can be woven into the storyline. That's what's going to give everybody such a great kick. It's going to look like it was meant to be, like it was shot yesterday. So we're not allowed to talk details of anything he had, but we're thrilled that what's been done. What's key there is the fact that he said about it's episode 7 and episode 8. We only originally were told it was episode 8. So they are really going back into the archives from episode 7, bringing up everything they can. So it's very interesting to see what part of the storyline will be told.
I'm thrilled that she'll play a part in episode 9 as we close out the saga. She should absolutely be there. And you're right, it's a really, really interesting take to have footage of scenes that probably weren't used. And we know there was the scene in the original trailer where Maz hands Leia Luke's lightsaber in that scene. And you just saw the two hands, but it was Leia who got a hold of the saber. So there's a lot of stuff, and whether that's her speaking to other characters or arcs that they maybe didn't cover in the 2 movies gone, whatever it is, I'm really, really happy that we're going to see some version of it.
Indeed, and I'm excited to see what they'll put in and what part of the story they'll cover that hasn't already been covered. I mean, I know they had a line for the Republic to do with Corsella, who was the woman who you saw in episode 7 who was killed on Hosnian Prime along with all the senators. So I know there's a storyline there that hasn't been covered. So there is footage about, and I think it's probably why we haven't seen as much released on the 7 and 8 Blu-rays as we could have had. It'd be interesting to see what there is, and after everything is shot, what does come out and what scenes will be included. Just purely because of the storyline basis. So interesting to see what does happen. Dave, I'm going to let you take actually the next story actually for us.
I would. Will you leave me in? Because I can't see the schedule anymore as my laptop went off. So if you could tell me what that story is, then yes, I will absolutely go through it.
So there's the D'Agostini R2 story.
Ah, excellent. Yes. Now, this is something I can talk about. Now, D'Agostini are a company in the UK. Well, they do part works all around the world. You see them mostly Italy, Japan. There are part work collections. And they did back in 2017 build your own R2-D2. 100 issues, build your droid. Now, if you've ever been to my channel, Life of Brien, I built that R2 droid as the parts came out weekly. And wow, he's brilliant. It's finished here now, and it's an exceptional little droid when you put it all together. Really heavy, really well built by myself, which is awesome. But now that is all finished, so you're not getting those issues weekly. But what Disney then do, it goes to a place called Model Space, and what they'll do is for, I think it's £899, you can have the whole thing delivered to you in one go, in huge amount of boxes, and go for your life. And people go, £900 for a droid? That's craziness. It's so not. You get to build the thing. You get an app that you can then control R2 and whiz him around. You can put him on just mode, and he just wanders around because of the sensors that you put in him. He doesn't bump into things. I love this build, and as a first-time builder when I started, it's not overly complicated. There's nothing inside there that should really challenge you. A few bits of mortars and things, but it's all it's spelled out so well in the instructions. Sometimes they don't mention which screws to use, which doesn't help. But on the majority, I can't recommend building it more. I'm glad I don't have to shell out £900 in one go, and I did it weekly and monthly, so that was fine. Not fine, my wife didn't think so. But it's great. I absolutely adore this droid. So if you do want to see it, and you aren't aware of my channel, go to The Life of Brien on YouTube, and you will see this droid. And it's just, I can't sing its praise more highly. It's now, I don't have it rolling about. If someone wants to see it, I can, but it's in its display case next to the 6-inch version that Phil made me buy. They're stood together looking amazing in the different scales. This is a half-scale R2 as well, just to mention. So it's...
Yeah, I mean, how tall is the half-scale R2?
He stands probably... I I don't think I've actually measured him, but you're going probably from my height. I'm 5'11". He goes to like just below my knee. So I mean, he's really tall.
So you're talking about a foot and a half.
Yeah, oh, easily. Yeah, he's absolutely magnificent. I
Well,
absolutely.
you've talked about 2 foot tall. Yeah, so for 1/8 of the price, for 1/8 of the scale, 1/8 of the price, you can get well, actually, 1/8 the price, of course, to the scale, you could have the 6-inch R2 from Sideshow, or you could have this fully functioning R2D2. I know which one I personally would choose. Dave, you're lucky to have both. I don't have the £900 to shell it in one go. Honest to God, I would if I could. But it is something that if you haven't seen it on Dave's channel, The Life of Brien, go for it. Go have a look. Go subscribe as well. Is that hit 850 subscribers? Only 150 off the magical 1,000. He's done amazingly well over the past couple of years. The Back of Awesomeness, which is my channel, kind of died a death just because of personal issues. I won't delve into them here. I hope to get it back up running at some point in my life, but for now I had to leave it. However, go support Dave and The Life of Brien. That's his shameless plug out of the way, because I'll have my shameless plug with the Firestorm Firecast later on, but we'll get to that later on. But yes, I thought Dave was best to speak about the D'Agostini R2, and once again, not only does he have his awesome D'Agostini R2 build on there, he has his UCS time-lapse build for the Lego one. That is also, if you like your Lego, that's also a video worth watching as well. Highly recommend that one. But anyway, enough singing each other's praise and stroking each other's egos. We're going to continue on with the news, and we have again more guests this time for Star Wars Fan Fun Day, which takes place at Burnley Football Club. It's closer for you than it is for me. I personally would like to go at some point in my life. I want to go this year because of these new guests. We actually have Julie Dolan, who plays Leia, does the voice of Leia in Rebels, and Mark Lewis-Jones, Captain Modern Canada, in The Last Jedi. Again, this announcement was supposed to be made 5 bloody minutes ago, but still, we are there. We have got these things up, and I would like to go and visit that at some point. It is closer for you though, Dave, than it is for me.
It's I mean, it's not too far away at all, and it's certainly these things that you just kind of come up all the time. You're like, I want to go so badly, and then things sometimes get in the way, and life is stupid sometimes. You just want to spend your time doing Star Wars things, sometimes you can't. But yeah, it's I need to get to these things. I need to get more of these things.
Indeed, you're not the only one. Again, I want to go up this year if I can, but we'll see. There's other conventions and things they do, so including Star Wars LFCC, so I can meet Billy D. Williams. We're going to close the news on the Star Wars fan film controversy from Star Wars Theory, which was something we reported on a couple of weeks ago. Basically, Star Wars Theory put out his fan film, Vader Shards of the Past. It is an incredible fan film. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. If you ever want to see live-action clone troopers, I don't mean the CG ones we had in Technical Clones, I mean actual clone armor.
Yeah.
Go watch this. If you've ever, like me, and gone, watch the Technical Clones and gone, they're cool, but I want to see real suits, this will fill that void and then leave you wanting more. Trust me, for anyone who's a fan of the Clone Wars, again, just go watch it. I'm not going to say much more because I don't want to spoil anything, but trust me, go watch it. It's had 5.5 million views or something so far. It's ridiculous. But anyway, after I showed a couple weeks ago where I reported what had happened with the fan theory and his Vader fan film claimant controversy, an update was released. Lucasfilm stepped in and convinced Warner Chappell Music to rescind its claim over the music used in Vader Shards of the Past. Basically, Lucasfilm said, you've altered the deal. This is not what we made. You will change your mind, because Star Wars Theory went to Lucasfilm, went, I want to make the fan film. What are your rules and regulations? Can I make money? Can I not make money? Or how do I fund it? What can I and can't I do? And Lucasfilm went, we can't allow you to make money off it. You can't crowdfund it, but what you can do is this, this, and this. And he went out and he got his own composer to make some music. Now, as I said in our previous show, Warner Chappell Music are not actually part of Disney. This is what everyone gets a little bit confused, because they work with Disney, but they are actually owned by Warner Brothers, hence the Warner part in it. They just both work with the Warner Brothers Music Group, and the Disney Music Group work together. So DMG and WMG work together so that both can use music from each other's libraries, because of over the years, licensing and various purchases by Disney and Warner mean that things overlap. and that's fine. That's what they do. But it was Warner Chapel, so the Warner Brothers half of it that went, you're using our music, we're going to claim that. And Lucasfilm just went, no, we're not having this. You're giving us a bad rap, Disney a bad rap. You're giving fan films a bad rap. You're just ruining everything, and we're not having it. And I think it's great. Lucasfilm just stepped in and went, no, you're not doing this.
It was definitely the right move to make, and I think it needed to be made. People had things on both sides of the argument, but for me personally, Lucasfilm did the right thing. It's a great little fan film, and I know he wants to continue on and make a second part, and this will allow him to do that. Yes, he can't take any money off that, and I get that. Why he can't, he's using licensed property to make this film with. So I get that he can't fund it that way or make the money he would have. And I mean, there's a lot. I mean, one of the days when Warner Chapel, I think, took the rights away, it was about 8, because Warner Chapel monetized it. He couldn't, but when they took over it, they monetized it, and I believe it was $85,000 a day.
Yeah, about 85 grand. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just crazy money. I mean, I do think it's a shame this guy who's put all this hard work into it doesn't get any kickback from that. I do find that a shame, but I guess you go into fan films and sometimes you're not going to be able to kind of make what you'd like of it, no matter how popular it is. But hopefully he'll get picked up by somebody. I mean, to put in such hard work with probably limited funds and where he could shoot and what they had to work with, someone might pick him up and look, you know what, he's done a really good job, and he might down the line be looked at as well and say, look, here's someone really talented out there who loves Star Wars, and let's see what we can bring him in to the family, even if not for, I'm not saying movies, but I'm saying for, just for ideas and how they work, because it's an exceptional job.
It is. It really is. It shows off. I don't want to spoil it, but it does show off bits of things that you just go, oh, why can they do that? Why? It will make you just go, this is incredible. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but I said live action Clone Troopers is all I'm going to say, because for me that just, I lost my nut when I saw that. I said to the guys immediately, went, you need to see this. There's no ifs, no buts. Just watch it. And we actually, I bought my family a Chromecast for Christmas. I put it on the TV. It was like, I need to stream this on the TV. It had to be done. Full surround sound, everything. That this needs to be experienced in full. It is one of those things that, yes, again, I hope he gets picked as well. I hope that he does get the funding to make episode 2, because, well, where episode 1 finishes off and what his plans are for episode 2, yeah, just please.
Yeah, it would be exceptional. There's things coming in the story that he's telling, which will be brilliant.
Indeed, and that is it for the news. We're going to move on to Toy Shelf. And Dave, again, I'm going to let you crack on with this one. So we'll talk about the Lego sets first.
Lego have announced some sets. Now, this is the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Lego starting. They're releasing 5 or 6 sets, I believe.
Yeah, 5.
5 sets. There is Anakin's Pod Racer. There is a Snow Speeder. There is some others.
So you got Slave 1.
Really
you got Slave 1, Anakin's Pod
right.
Racer, Snow Speeder, ATDP, and the random one, which is, I can't actually tell. It's an Imperial transport vehicle.
I've looked at it again. I've probably seen the name, but I don't know. I couldn't look at it straight up.
It's an Imperial transport vehicle, but that's not the point.
Yeah, it's background, and no one really cares. But now,
no, that's not what's cool.
Yeah, that is not what's cool. Now, in each of these sets, you will get minifigures, obviously that come with the actual parts, but you'll also get a special 20th anniversary minifigure. Now, I don't know whether these are originals or they're just redos of the original type, but they are the yellow-faced, very basic look, original casting, certainly the Darth Vader one as well, of the original minifigures that came out with the sets.
Yeah,
one per box. You get a Vader, there's a Princess Leia, a Han Solo, a Lando Calrissian, and I'm missing a Luke X-Wing as well. And they come with a little 20th anniversary stand that all fit together, so they all stand in one line. That's just to get a hold of those little minifigures, because I think they're really cool.
They are reprints because of the back on each torso includes the 20th anniversary logo as well, but you're not really going to care about that.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. But all the stands can enable you to showcase the figures all together, and I'll be getting all the sets just to get those figures. I actually do have my I found recently my OG Han Solo. So I do have that Han Solo they're reprinting. In fact, I had the pod racer, the episode 1 pod racer, and I also had the very, very, very first set they released. I got it still somewhere, it's in bits, but I could rebuild it at some point, which is the speeder from episode 1, Darth Maul speeder, with Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn. I got it on the ferry to France, I believe it was, or when I was in France itself back in 1999, so it was a long time ago. But no, I got the very first set they released. I got a few of them from that era as well, so I've actually got Luke's speeder as well from that era as well. So I've got a few of the OG sets, and this brings up memories. However, the other cool thing is the fact that in the Slave 1 set, you get Zuckuss. So finally, people can complete their Bounty Hunter set.
You can. There are some really nice minifigures that are coming out with them, but yeah, it's nice that, like you say, Zuckuss in that set is awesome in the Slave 1 set. So yeah, it's going to be really nice to get some of these sets. And just, I say, for me, it is all about the 20th anniversary minifigure. I didn't know about the printing, but obviously that just makes them a little more exclusive as well. So yeah, bring it on. They look great.
Well, so Zuckuss, this is the first time in the 20-year history of Star Wars Lego they are making him.
Excellent.
It's one of those things you go, okay, look, the OG figures are cool, but you get Zuckuss as well. And that Zuckuss is like, yeah, after 20 years, you finally have Zuckuss. You can finally have your Forlom, IG-88, Dengar, Bosk, and Fett, and Zuckuss. You can have all of them in one place at one time.
It is awesome. Awesome.
Again, we're going to continue on with the Toy Shop news with Return of the Jedi. Pops have been announced. So Funko, again, continuing their freight train of announcements, and just, unfortunately, their oversaturation on the market. But they've announced via an official blog they're releasing a new assortment of Pop figures based on the characters from Return of the Jedi. In addition to these new figures, collectors will also be able to get their hands on a Phlox Baby Nippet, a glow-in-the-dark Emperor's Wrath Darth Vader, with Severed Hand figure, and a supersized 10-inch Wicket Pop, which is life-size. That figure will be exclusive to Target. They're cool, but I'm kind of over Pops in terms of I like collecting the more special edition, or just characters that I like. I'm not you, Dave, who has almost every Star Wars figure under the sun. So I know you'll be excited by these announcements.
Oh, these pops are wonderful.
I want the Vader.
Yeah, I've already ordered the Emperor, and I've ordered the Vader. The Vader is, if you go on our social media, we have the pictures on there. The Vader with the translucent blue head is stunning.
Yeah, I do want that
to get him. And there's also a rumor that there's going to be an exclusive Luke released. It's one of the conventions. I don't know which one, but there is an exclusive Luke coming. And yeah, I can't wait. I ordered the Emperor and the Vader as soon as they were available for pre-release. They're the ones I want, and I'm going to try and hopefully get the glow-in-the-dark Target version of the Vader as well. I'm massively into the Pops now. It's completely flipped from where I mocked George for his love of them to now my collection's growing and growing, and I've almost got a wall that's higher than me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, no, it did flip. George was all about them. He sold his collection. He's now only got the ones from Infinity War, and Dave has just gone full in on the Star Wars collection. I have a lot of the Star Wars ones. I have a couple of that aren't from Star Wars as well. I've got a couple of them from the New England Patriots. Because if you haven't been able to tell by now, they're always wearing a Patriots hat or some sort of Patriots apparel that I am a fan. And with the Super Bowl this Sunday, my team play, I am nervous as hell, but also interested to see if anything Star Wars related does drop. So if anything does drop, I'll be the first to know. I will be able to let everyone know because I'll be watching the game. But yeah, that's it for Toy Shelf. We're going to move on to Star Laws. We've had the cover drop for Alphabet Squadron, which I thought was really cool. It's again, it's on our social media. I think we put it up. If not, I'll put it up at some point. So it's a female Rebel Alliance pilot. In the background, you've got the Y-Wing, the A-Wing, the B-Wing, the U-Wing, and the X-Wing. It's by Alexander Freed. They've released, they've put up announcements going, so it's part of a trilogy, and they've given us the official blurb. There's also going to be a tie-in comic for it called TIE Fighter that's coming out in April, I believe, with the first one. I'm a little disappointed in the fact of one of the facts of the book, and I'll tell you that in a minute. So here we go. On the verge of victory in a brutal war, 5 New Republic pilots transform from one hunted to the hunters in this epic Star Wars adventure. So set after Return of the Jedi, Alphabet Squadron follows a unique team, each flying a different class of starfighters as they struggle to end their war once and for all. The Emperor is dead, his final weapon has been destroyed, and the Imperial army is in disarray. In the aftermath, Yurka Quell. I'm going to butcher that name, but she is the main character of it. Is just one of thousands of defectors from her former cause living in deserted shantytown until she selects to join Alphabet Squadron. That's the bit that annoys me, the fact that she is an Imperial defector. I'm like, again, can we not have an original storyline? If you don't understand that frustration, check out Battlefront 2. We're kind of tired of that line. However, there is something really cool in this. So, cobbled together from an eclectic assortment of pilots and starfighters, the 5 members of Alphabet Squadron are tasked by New Republic General Hera Syndulla herself. Like Yurka, she is a talented pilot struggling to find their place in a changing galaxy. Their mission to track down and destroy the mysterious Shadow Wing, a lethal force of TIE fighters exacting bloody, reckless vengeance in the twilight of their reign. The newly formed unit embodies the heart and soul of the Republic. Ragtag, resourceful, scrappy, emboldened by their most audacious victory in decades, but going from underdog rebels to celebrated heroes isn't as easy as it seems, and their inner demons threaten them as much as their enemies among the stars. The wayward warriors of Alphabet Squadron will have to learn to fight together if they want to protect the era of peace they fought so hard to achieve. So, yeah, Hera's in it. That makes me excited. Imperial Defector. Please give us a new storyline.
It is one of the go-tos, I must say. You're right, it does get a bit of an old, we get it. There's people in the Imperial, and they all switch sides. But, you need more original characters. They don't have to come from an Imperial background. They can just be...
No, I mean, people. We've had Agent Callus. We've had... Battlefront 2, Iden Versio.
Yes.
And Inferno Squad. I mean, Inferno Squad itself went from Imperials to Rebels. It's one of those things like, really, can you just give us something new, please? Enough of the defectors. I want original ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, with Hera in it and this kind of Shadow Wing, this new TIE Fighter Squadron, the fact that that's the tie-in comic as well, TIE Fighter, I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that aspect of the book, but please, some original ideas, please. The comics do a lot better for the original ideas than the books, I have to say, but that's me speaking on a personal level when I own, nigh on all of them. I think I own about 280, about the 294, I think it is, comics they've released so far. Amazing. I'm really not that far off getting every single one. And the only reason I don't have some of the others is because they're the novelizations, or the comic version of a novelization of the adaptations, basically, of the films, and I don't need those, or the adaptation of the Thrawn book. Again, I don't really need that because I have the book. That's fine. However, I have all the original pieces. I think I'm only missing a couple there from the IDW for the very first lot. I even have Star Wars issue number 1. But actually, I might even have that right next to me. In fact, I do indeed. I even have, Star Wars issue number 1 graded. I also have Dr. Aphra issue number 1 graded as well. Again, I have that next to me as well. And then down there, I have Star Wars issue number Vader issue number 3, first appearance of Aphra, BT1 000 graded as well. So yes, a little bit of a collector. So books, step up your game a little bit. So yes, there you go. Dave does pops, I do comics. That's the way it is. We all have our own little sections here at Once with the Force of Star Wars podcast. The next bit of news, we're going to move on to games now, and talking as a follow-up to EA cancelling the open world Star Wars game we reported on last time. So as a follow-up to our story in our last show about the decision by EA to cancel the development / release of the open world Star Wars game being held to their team in Vancouver, Kotaku has since received the following statement directly from EA representative regarding this report, so that's where they were to pull this quote from. There's been speculation overnight about one of our Star Wars projects. As a natural part of the creative process, the great work by our team in Vancouver continues and will evolve in future Star Wars content and games. We're fully committed to making more Star Wars games. Very excited about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order from Respawn, and we'll share more about our new projects when the time is right. However, that's both the open world game and another game they had coming out that have both been cancelled. And also Battlefront 3 has been cancelled now as well, I think.
Yeah, it's not been good for them. Battlefront 2 was a bit of a disaster.
That's understandable.
They've now got the game out, probably the way it should have been a year and a half ago. But it's taken them this long, and they've lost a lot of people who would be interested in their games going forward.
Me included.
Who knows what will happen in the future, but we'll Yeah, as far as we're not going to go on a massive roundabout again because we've done that plenty. But yeah, we're very disappointed with what EA have done with the license.
Yeah, I mean they butchered the license. They really did. They were given a golden goose that could lay, well, a goose that could lay golden eggs no matter what. You had a license to print money, as long as you did it well.
Yeah,
and they didn't, and that's an understatement. I mean, we are diehard Star Wars fans. There is no qualm about that. I mean, we wouldn't be doing the show if we weren't. I mean, genuinely, why would we spend every other week, spend hours prepping the show and do this every other week if we didn't love Star Wars? There would be no reason to. We are diehard Star Wars fans. And when the game came out, all three of us were excited for it. George still plays it, and he's like, yeah, it's great. It's how it should have been. I stopped playing it about 8 months ago. I've barely picked it up. I play every now and then. I'm sorry, but they lost me. They'd lost a lot, and they lost a lot of fans, by the way. They were mishandling all this free content. We have got this road ahead plan. We've got so much planned for this. We've got DLC coming at you thick and fast. We're going to make this awesome. We're going to have the Clone Wars. We're going to have skins. We're going to have microtransactions, and we're going to have what? And that was the beginning there. The microtransactions is what started the snowball. Unfortunately, it just killed it, and they took the license and they just ruined it. Battlefront, the first one was a safe bet, was a good game. They missed content, but they were just trying to get the engine right and get the game going, and it was good for what it was. But they're like, cool, we have this first-person mode where, like your single-player campaign mode. That failed to live up to the expectations. Like, cool, you can play it about 2.5 hours, and the story was predictable, and after the first two, Ironverse show just goes over to the Rebels and becomes a predictable Star Wars story. And it's like, you had the opportunity here. You lied to us from the start saying it's going to be a brand new story. We're going to hear it from the Imperial's point of view. And they dropped the ball. And again, they just mishandled the license. So Battlefront 3 has been canned. So has the open world game. Fallen Order I'm looking forward to, but they've really got to step up their game, or else I don't see Disney renewing the license with EA.
No, I'm with you on that.
They have to give it to a company that will do it for all the platforms, be it PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. They need someone who does all three, so they need a third-party contractor, not Sony or Microsoft. So I understand that part of it, but they need to pick another studio or do it in-house. Bring back LucasArts, for crying out loud. Bring back LucasArts. They did amazing games. They did amazingly well with the license because it was done by the Story Group.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that would be the glory days. I unfortunately don't see that with the money that's involved, but yeah, that would be the absolute dream.
Yeah, I mean, my PC itself is full of the old school games. I mean, I have Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. I have Jedi Knight Academy, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. I have the Force Unleashed 2, Shadows of the Empire. You know, and I have the original Battlefront 2 as well. That's just like old school Star Wars games, and I have those because I love the games they made.
We all did. I mean, we all fell in love with LucasArts even when they weren't Star Wars games. Essentially, I mean, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter going right back, but it was a shame we lost
that and Rogue Squadron, X-Wing, and yes, the X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. So when you had again, Shadows of the Empire, one of my favorite games growing up. I love that game. We play as Dash Rendar. I mean, there's so much cool content.
There really is.
And don't forget the Pod Racer game. Who could forget that on N64? That was a great game.
The pod racing games are probably the best that came out of Episode 1 at the time.
Yep.
Even, I mean, it was a great arcade game, but yeah, they bring that home on the home computers and your consoles it was an exceptional game. I really, really liked that. Even Bounty Hunter. Yeah,
again, so much cool content they released, and so bring back LucasArts, please, for the love of God. They will handle the license correctly, and they're working on 1313. 1313 sounded so cool.
It did indeed.
Oh well, at least we'll have kind of our 1313 fix, as it were, with the Mandalorian, I guess.
Yeah.
Although 1313 is based on the level 1313 in Coruscant, they alluded to that in the Clone Wars as well. But you'll have your bounty hunters, you'll have your general scum and villainy out in the Outer Rim. So we're looking forward to that. And that is it for all of the news we have this evening. I'm going to now talk about Resistance Rewind. Dave, did you have a chance to watch Dangerous Business and Dozer's Dilemma?
Bill, you can talk away, sir. I have had no opportunity to see. Sorry, excuse me. I've had no opportunity to see either of these episodes. So no, I have no idea what happened. So give me a brief rundown. Let me know what they were like, sir, and then I'm going to bed.
I will try and be as brief as possible, but it's going to be a bit in depth, especially with the second episode. There's a lot happening in that, and it's starting to get really good. The first episode, we're going to talk about Dangerous Business, a bit filler. The previous one we had, I'm trying to title off the top of my head, Bebo. That was very much a filler, but it was just coming off the break. So I do understand that. The way I'm going to clarify this before we get into these two episodes. For those of you who haven't seen Resistance and who are hesitant because of the style of the art, don't forget Clone Wars is coming back, and we think that's where the money has been channeled. However, if you remember watching Series 1 of Rebels, the first half of the series of Series 1, very Disney, very light-hearted, very family-friendly, very kind of younger audience orientated. And we thought, well, it's aimed at them, it'll be good, but it'll be a laugh. And do you remember how good it got and how in-depth the story got and how dark it got? This is very much the same. If you haven't watched it, the first half of the series, very light-hearted, very Disney, very young audience orientated. And it said it was aimed at a younger audience. And we thought, okay, give it a whirl. Now, halfway through, it's starting to get darker. The First Order's starting to creep in. Everything's starting to get a bit more militant, a bit more, oh, what's happening here? So if you haven't seen it, I urge you to watch it. Binge the first half. I won't tell you where to find it. I'm not going to tell you how to watch it. I'm not going to do is tell you to watch it. There are ways and means of watching it, especially if you have Disney XD. But just go and watch it. Anyway, so episode 13, Dangerous Business. So let me just get that up here. So episode 13. So it's actually George messaged just there on our little chat. So Dave, I'll let you handle that as I crack on to the episode. So episode 13, Dangerous Business. The episode opens with the Fireball team being blown away the fact that Kaz is actually doing some surprise maintenance on the Fireball so that Tam could take it out for a spin. Because he's just actually not becoming the most clumsy and thoughtful hero. He's actually doing his job. Anyways, paid for the parts he used to try and fix the Fireball. His fixes weren't that great, but still, he went and has to work and man acquisitions for Flix and Orcus so they can go on a holiday with their pit droid. Whilst holding down the shop, a shady character comes in looking for a phase connector by the name of Tirage Key. He gets pissed when Kaz won't sell him the only one in store because it's been reserved for the mining guild. But he buys a bunch of parts anyway and demands Kaz delivers them to his shipping container. Kaz and BB-8 suspect Tirage Key is shady, but Kaz heads to his location anyway to see if he can gain some insights that may be valuable to the Resistance. Without fail, though, Kaz is trapped in a container by Tirage, so he commands his underling to dispose of the canister whilst Kaz is to the side so he can go and rob acquisitions. Tirage Key heads back to the store, but BB-8 puts up one hell of a fight, complete with a rope swing to try and stop him, but Key eventually overpowers him and makes off with the phase connector. Kaz uses a little of his burgeoning mechanic skills to get out of the crate in the nick of time, so he heads off to go and track down Tirage Key, who he finds boarding his ship. At this moment, Kaz also discovers that Tirage is working with the First Order, and he stole the device for their use. Kaz, with the help of Bitey, who is a little Korg, a tiny little bitey character, hence why it's called Bitey, bring down Key's ship by biting through the wiring of the ship so they can make an escape pod and head back to the Colossus. Flix and Orca return and thank Kaz for his help, and they inform him that the phase connectors are used for mining asteroids and celestial bodies of giant planets and planetoids. So now Kaz naturally finds this interesting and plans to inform the Resistance about the First Order's shady plot. If you know, of course, about The Force Awakens, you'll know that Starkiller Base is a giant planet with a giant hole in it where they've put all this dynamite, all of this blast material to make this giant weapon that they use to destroy the Hosnian system. So you can start to see these little threads, these little pieces coming together. And it really is getting very interesting to how it's going. First Order are getting their grips into the Colossus and into the Outer Rim from the unknown regions to try and get their foothold in to come, as we see in Episode 7. So this phase connector, as small piece as it is, really connects to the larger universe. And it's really interesting to see how they are now tying these threads together. Episode 14, The Dozer Dilemma. So the episode starts off with the First Order plotting with Craig and the pirate to pull off a heist that Commander Pyre and Captain Phasma believe will finally convince Dozer to bring them onto the Colossus as its protectors. Yeah, quotes there for those of you who are listening in. Meanwhile, on the Colossus, Kragan informs Sonara of the plan and tells her that she'll have to smuggle 2 fellow pirates on board and get them into the tower. She's a bit squirrely about it, but commits to the nefarious act anyway. While hanging out at Auntie's with his friend Sonara gets an invite to go and play some video games at Tora's place in the tower with Kaz and Tam. They all go along to shoot some training remotes, but Sonara also spies on tower security and even gets a code from Tora, who thinks they are friends. As the cycle moves from day to night, Sonara breaks the 2 pirates onto the Colossus, but unbeknownst to her, Kaz and BB-8 are talking, and they are there to go and see her to try and just because Kaz has a little bit of a thing for her, but not really going anywhere at the moment, but that's just fine. Sonara manages to get Valak and Joel onto the tower. Once they are on there, they tell her they're after Tora, but lock her out of the tower herself, which is really irritating for her. She goes, I kind of sees her error of her ways. She rides off to help. And she decides that she's become more conflicted about her role with the pirates. She runs off to help, but smacks into Kaz, who's been following her and the other pirates. She tells Kaz what's going on. They go off to try and help Tora. Kaz heads off in the always busted ass fireball fighters try and stop the pirates, but he forms those of the plot, so he scrambles the aces. Kaz eventually catches up to the pirate, but once Kragan appears in his massive pirate ship, which, by the way, is really freaking cool, Kaz starts to realize something fishy is going on with Sonara, but, we'll get into that in a bit. As Kaz struggles to not get shot down, the First Order appears over Kragan's ship, so Kaz becomes even more curious about what the plot might be and what's going on, as he starts to try and see the bigger picture. Major Von Reg is on the First Order Upsilon shuttle, and it appears that he's going to pay Kragan for kidnapping Tora like Pyre proposed earlier. He opens fire and rescues Tora himself, which further confuses Kaz. As the viewers know, we know exactly what's going on. Von Reg returns Tora to Dozer as if the First Order were the true heroes, and they do get their praise from Dozer, but he still doesn't fully enlist the First Order's protection. But Von Reg does leave a couple of troopers behind as a security detail, just to kind of give themselves a foothold without him really realizing it. The episode ends with Kaz giving Sonara a chance to be honest about the 2 pirates he saw her with, but she lies to him again, which confirms to him that she's a pirate, spy, or pirate herself. So Kaz finally solves a bit of the puzzle he's been tasked with by the Resistance. Again, that key bit there, he's bringing these threads together of how the First Order get their foothold in the Outer Rim to try and launch their attack against the New Republic is just incredible. They are now bringing all these threads together in a way that's still lighthearted, but it's still getting more and more serious. And again, if you haven't seen these episodes, I highly urge you go and watch them.
No, I mean, I'm definitely going to try and catch them. Hopefully over this week. But I mean, as you say, the animation style's still a bit jarring for me, but I was actually quite enjoying certainly the poor damn episode. So that one sounds like an awesome one, especially now the First Order getting more involved.
They are indeed. Commander Pyre and Von Reg especially are two cool characters. Von Reg has his red tie interceptor, which I'm hoping to see in X-Wing at some point. But no, to see these bits start to come together. So you have a light-hearted episode all about Kaz looking after a shop. And it all ends up with this phase connector that, it gets destroyed, but it's how the First Order using to crack open the planet that Starkiller Base is on. And it's just these threads that you've seen in Episode 7 and Episode 8, so in these sequels that are now really starting to come together that we didn't know before, in a way that's still lighthearted for the younger audience. But when you are a bit older and when you are not just seeing the little bitey creature, you're seeing these threads come together. It's actually multi-layered. So is Rebels, but it's more of a multi-layered than it was before, I think, in Rebels, because in Resistance, it really is aimed at a younger audience. But if you are a huge fan, you'll get that extra layer of detail. And so, like with the phase connector, with the First Order, with the way they're coming into the Outer Rim, with how they're getting their foothold, how they're going to use that as a base to attack the New Republic, with everything that's going on, it just gives you this added level.
Totally.
As an older fan, you really do appreciate it. So it's one of those things that if you haven't seen it, and if you are not seeing it purely because of the artwork alone, honest to God, give it a watch. You'll get over the art style within the first 2 episodes. You'll like it, you'll love it, or you won't like it, but you'll like the story. I guarantee you'll still watch it because you like the story. George needs to watch it. He said he's going to get another go. However, it's going to be yeah, it's going to be really freaking cool, especially if you've seen the trailer, the mid-season trailer we talked about in our Christmas special. Looking forward to 2019. The trailer itself has the speech from episode 7. It has the General Hux speech of all remaining systems will bow to the First Order. So you know where this is going. You know it's set during episode 7 now. We have this tenuous link to what's going on, but more information has ever been revealed in the films. And genuinely, I'm loving it.
Excellent. I'm so glad, mate. I'm so glad. Honestly, I'm going to try and get caught up, really. To say I was enjoying towards the back end of the first half of the series. So, yeah, I look forward to this, and hopefully the next one sounds just as good.
Indeed. And that is it for this evening. Cantina Talk tonight is a little bit different. I did ask the guys' permission for this. I'll be putting up some promo on the on our Facebook page, on our social media in general. So I have to give a big thanks to both George and Dave for this one. For those of you who aren't aware, I'm a big fan of the Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game. I've played it for about 4 and a bit years now. Before when I started playing Scum Villainy wasn't even a thing. And I'm part of a squadron. We play competitively, but we're all good friends. We have a laugh. We go meet up with our squadrons at the large UK events, international events. We have a good time doing it. And myself and 2 of my squadron mates are now doing our own streaming service. So we now record games on a Friday evening, every other Friday. So that's this Friday coming up. So basically, if I'm doing Ones to the Force, that Friday you'll see an episode of the Firestorm Firecast. I'll leave a link in the description below, and I'll put promos up on our Facebook and our social media. But yes, basically, if you want to learn about the game, or if you want to watch some games being played, having a laugh, we're trying to create basically X-Wing TV. So we've got guests on. Last week, we had the week before last, we had our guest, who's Mr. Phil GC, a good friend of mine who lives only 15 minutes down the road, but he does a highly successful blog called Such an X-Wing Hipster. For those of you who are in the X-Wing community will probably know of him. For those of you who are getting into the community, highly recommend his blog. It's read by 10,000+ people every single week. It's an incredibly well-written blog. It's won an award for being the best X-Wing blog in the world. It's a fantastic blog, and he's a fantastic guy. So we had him on a couple of weeks ago, and this week we have Charles Deathrain Burkhold coming on, the blogging bombardier, so another blogger, good friend of ours. We've got in a couple of weeks' time, we've got the 186 Squadron, we've got them coming on for a challenge. So again, it's just us having a laugh, playing a bit of X-Wing, having fun. Yeah, I have to say, big thanks to Dave and George for allowing me just to do this little shameless plug, but it is something that I enjoy, and it is Star Wars related, so it counts.
No, totally counts, and I think everyone should go check it out. I know I've had a look at it myself when it comes up on the Facebook, and had a look over the page and had a look over watching the games. It's not something I've played, so I don't quite understand, but I liked it. I like watching it. And I love seeing the ships and how it's all so strategic. I think it takes a lot of effort to play for someone at my level, but obviously it comes a second nature to you guys. And I think, yeah, if you've got any interest in that, you should definitely check it out.
And especially if you like seeing me lose. I have never won on stream. I am 0-8, I think it is on stream. I've never won a game on stream. It kind of sucks. I'm hoping to break that this week. Because we just actually had the points change on Monday. We actually had the points drop. So everything's had its new update, and my favourite ship, Asajj Ventress, has come down in points. You can't tell I love that ship and love that character too much. The fact that when she came down, I was immediately like, right, she's going back on the table, and I'll be using her on Friday. But yes, yeah, if you ever want to learn about the game, we will be doing intro sessions. Well, we'll do basic stuff, but we just try and have a laugh with it, basically. It is good fun. Go check it out, have a watch, and I'll be leaving promos on the page in the next couple of days. But again, thanks to Dave and George for allowing me to do that. And yes, that is it for this evening. I don't think we've got anything else this evening, Dave?
No, just a massive, massive thank you for you all for your patience on. Obviously, Phil did an excellent episode the other week when he had to be by himself. Hopefully, I'm coming out the other end of this flu now, so... and I'll be back and getting the social media all sorted and say we'll give it quite a few posts to
The one thing on the social media side, thank you for 400 likes on Facebook. We've reached another little milestone there. I forgot to
we have. That's blown up. We've also had the community out there in the Twitter world as well. Is really nice to get out. So we've got a few new followers on there as well. So it is something that we're going to get caught back on with the social media. We were getting a post out every day, which was really helping. So hopefully we'll get back to that. But really just a massive thank you to you all for being here. It's been 2 amazing years, and long may it continue.
Indeed, we are going to try and put together a special episode for the 52nd episode. So in a month's time, we'll try and do something cool. We're not quite sure what we're going to do yet, but any suggestions you have, leave them down in the comments below. Leave them on our Facebook, our Instagram, or our Twitter. So we'll put something together. We may just do a clip show, may do something looking back over the past 2 years. But yeah, I mean, 52 episodes, 52 regular episodes plus our specials. It is something that we are incredibly proud of. It's something we have a lot of fun doing. So yeah, thank you for joining us on this journey. As per usual, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join us every other week here on YouTube. We are on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, and Spotify. For the audio version, they'll be up hopefully the next day from this particular episode. I know the other weeks has been up. Dave will be doing that. Don't worry, they will be up for the audio versions. But thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. As I said, we're on Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and I think that's it. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We've been One to the Force. May the Force always be with you. Good night.